The cost of goods is steadily going up. This isn't a transitory supply chain issue caused by a global pandemic. It's been happening for years. With a wealthy mindset comes wealthy decisions. Join our channel named Wealthy Mindset. Furthermore, these items are not usually regulated in the same way as regular consumer goods. This means that they can charge whatever price they want for them. They can keep the extra $20,000 per watch, $10,000 per handbag, or $1 million per automobile. But there is a catch. Always one. What are these items that defy market supply and demand expectations so often? We've just seen one example of them thus far, but there are more available. Everything from luxury watches to designer handbags, invite-only sports cards, and even sneakers is included in this category. To begin with, they all have a few traits in common. They're all high-end goods. However, being a luxury item alone isn't enough to make you qualify as one of these game-changing products. The first thing they have in common is that they are restricted in some fashion. Some firms accomplish it directly, such as car makers who only produce a certain number of models. Others do it indirectly, such as fashion label that refuses to manufacture its bags outside of a tiny studio in France to maintain quality. Which should go without saying that there's a little more going on here than you might think, so keep this in mind for later, because it's crucial. Finally, there is a lack of interest in bargaining. When demand outpaces supply, analysts anticipate that prices will rise until demand and supply are equal. This is particularly true for things like these, which are Veblen goods or items that become more desirable as prices rise. However, if you're buying something to flaunt its usefulness, the more expensive it is, the better it will look on you. Why then are these firms not giving in and raising their prices to get as much money as possible from as many people as possible? The official answer will be that they value artistic ingenuity and want to make sure that everyone who truly cares about the brand may afford one of their products. When you consider the fact that charitable foundations own Rolex, it's almost logical. The majority, on the other hand, are controlled by huge transnational businesses with shareholders who demand a return on their financial investment. Technically, Rolex is owned by a charity, but if the organization made more money, it could do more. As a consequence, the excuse given by these companies for not charging more for their terms cannot withstand criticism. So there are two reasons why they do this. Another thing they have in common is that they are generally sold by authorized dealers rather than the manufacturers themselves. You've probably heard this referred to when it comes to automobiles. When you're looking to buy a new vehicle, you don't go online or to a store. Instead, you visit an authorized automobile dealership. Dealerships are in charge of retail sales, and for better or worse, they operate as a middleman between the manufacturer and customer. These dealerships work very well in a few ways. First, by allowing manufacturers to focus on what they do best. And second, it eliminates the need for them to manage operations in many different countries. However, there is always a certain degree of tension with simple operations. Some dealers may demand a fee for a certain product, while others compete fiercely with other sellers of the same brand. Dealers can also attempt to sell their items in such a way that they earn money right now but damage the brand in the long run. This is significant for these dealerships because they are not permitted to make profit on such rare things. They can now establish relationships with insanely rich people who have more money than sense. So now that we have identified all of the market participants, we can see that everything makes sense. The manufacturer creates a wide range of products, including some very special items in extremely limited supply. They can be confident that dealers who work for them will gladly buy up all the regular stock in hopes of obtaining a healthy allocation of the special in-demand items. Dealers may use their power over these milestones assets to pressure consumers into buying more and more common stock in exchange for their names being moved to the waiting list. This implies greater sales and a higher commission than if they sold the unique goods at their fair market value. Also, don't believe that this little dance will ruin the end user's day as long as they can buy the rare item informally. Promise to them they'll be okay. It all depends on the user's culture and their expectations of what they can get with a product, said Google's executive chairman Eric Schmidt. For example, when AOL began selling expensive listings for its Time Warner cable internet service in 1997, Users demanded such high-priced goods that it became one of the most popular service among high-net-worth individuals at $100 million or more. Or how Coca-Cola trading at a price 5 times greater than its initial public offering price? When you have something that's regarded as essential status symbol by the society, whether it to be gold-plated Rolexes or diamond-encrusted iPhones, there are going to be those who want to keep it great. It's not necessarily because looking at this transaction in isolation neglects all of the other goods that they would have needed to obtain the opportunity to buy these special items. If you had to buy 10 Ferraris to be invited to purchase one limited edition automobile, you would have to spend at least $200,000 or $300 million. Suddenly, $1 million from selling this unique car doesn't seem so attractive. There are two primary concerns with this. We'll locate our market balance, and Rolex and Ferrari do not sell individual watches, handbags, or sports cars. Consider them to be selling collections. They've priced their brands well. Yes, they were unable to charge more for their unique items, but no one would want to buy all these qualifying components. They've effectively disguised themselves as an auction house. People bid using a variety of normal luxury goods with exorbitant costs rather than directly with cash. The expectations of future price increase is one of the most influential factors affecting demand. It's significant since throughout this process, certain high-end goods have been able to pass as investments while expecting future price growth. People may think that buying a Rolex is more expensive than purchasing a Seiko, since you may sell your Rolex for the same or even greater price than you paid for it. There are a few problems with this. To begin with, money could have been invested and made more money, but they aren't entirely wrong until they've proven correct. This entire process is predicated on end users demanding extraordinary priced luxury items. End user demand will be much higher if the business are successful in convincing their spouses, accountants, and even themselves that this isn't a poor investment by claiming that these are merely normal items that respond to market forces. It is critical to maintain the illusion that these items are so unique that they should be classified as investments for the high prices to make sense. So, why should we care about this? Many common firms are now learning the strength of these semi-affordable halo items as the epidemic has damaged distribution networks. Because of their distribution network, luxury items are the logical starting point for this plan. Insane margins and, let's be honest, their skewed relationship between price and utility value can be a bit of a turnoff. But there's no reason why this marketing strategy couldn't gradually spread down the market. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more similar material. Have a wonderful day!